realizing what doesn't matter is part of becoming wise.
Engineer guy.
Anyways, this is 67 takes, episode 20. The end of
episode 20.
The end of season 2.
Yay.
So, John and
I say that as an accomplishment. I'm like, my God, we did. It's just a good feeling. You know, it is work. It is. There's effort put into this, even though it may not seem like it, but.
I was going to joke tongue-in-cheek and say, well, finally we did something with our lives.
Or we can. The concept of seasons is cool because you can have, you can finish something.
Exactly.
We have so many unfinished projects. They'll get finished, but.
Good. Okay. Yes.
We have an unfinished book. We have, We did good. We've accomplished things, though, in the past.
An unfinished book.
I feel like the art store was...
5 unfinished movies. 6 unfinished albums. An unfinished art store.
I feel like the art store did come to a finish,
Good. Yes.
It couldn't have gone on without you, so... I tried for like a month or so. Ooh. It ran its course, and that was a fun experiment,
It was definitely...
Maybe someday we'll talk about that.
Cool, yeah. Jan's Art Shop. So I really love the notes that you gave for this show. It just feels so good. It feels like we can't lose in this show. If we cover these notes, it should be at least... pretty darn interesting.
And we'll be done in 3 minutes.
Well, no, because I have a tendency to, what's it called, digress and transact and go off on a tangent.
That's the makeup of our show. That's inherent to our show. And you can't stop it. So
yeah.
Embrace it.
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
For the most part. I was apologizing to Sean a little bit. Sometimes, it doesn't always make the edit, but I push him along sometimes when we're recording.
Especially that last show. The one where I thought I was prepared and I just was flubbling.
I'm not prepared at all today, and hopefully you're not, and hopefully we're not. It's already got to get fun.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I've got a billion random notes. And one thing I guess I do is, John was saying, I almost want to apologize for last week I was short with you. Well, I almost want to apologize. My problem that I bring is I try to torture John with all these little... subliminal little quotes, and I'm spoofing all these on him. No, I'm springing these on him. He has no idea what I'm bringing, and half of it he's like, I would not have approved this in a pre-production meeting. Where is this guy going? But that's
not true. That's not true.
No? Well,
not the part about me not approving it. I mean, sometimes it's awkward, but...
yes, sometimes...
And you know what? It's headspace too. I apologize. I was not watching back and editing that. I was like, oh my God, I wasn't really even there. Where were you?
Well, hey, that's pretty existential. He can do a podcast. Oh, that okay. So
the podcast where the hosts aren't present.
I do.
It's going to be a big hit.
We're going to do one. One day it's going to be just these 2 pictures with the 2 microphones. No hosts. We're going to dub it in. And I like doing... Actually, I'm going to do it real quick. Oh my God. I'm getting beamed up by an alien.
Sean? Call the bobbies.
Oh, whoa. Okay, I'm back. Thanks, guys. No, we'll see you next time. Oh, that was weird. That'll be for another
Yeah.
show. Yeah, I just got beamed up. Just got abducted by aliens, beamed up, not probed, but, interrogated. Let's move on.
Oh, dear.
Put a pin in it.
I may have to mark this one as explicit for the podcast services.
And we're off to a running start. He's got his editing challenges just cut out for him today. A gauntlet has been
No,
thrown.
I am bound and determined to leave that bit in because you've tried it before. And
And it hit
I
the...
think it's... anyways, I can... Please allow me to edit that section.
There's so much gold on the cutting room floor.
There probably is, an amazing amount. But so
All right.
our notes for this, we're gonna go over 2 questions, pose this question, discuss a little bit, and then kind of wrap up season 2. And
Yes.
who knows? That's the plan. Let's see if we stick to it, or how many diverse topics we actually get into. Could be 67.
I love it because here we are in season 20. This is our 20th episode, second season,
Right.
20th episode. And this is the first one where we actually have a plan, a sort of a plan. So like John said, I'll reiterate, there's 2 main questions that this show might or might not center around, but it could. And there's even a bridge in between them. So it's like a first part and a second part and a segue. So why don't you read the 2 main questions and then we'll get started on the...
Well, let's start with 1 and go with that.
Okay.
Now, did you propose? Shall I do question 1 or question 2? I'll surprise you. All right.
Okay, yes. So exciting.
What's something people think matters that actually doesn't? I don't like the wording of that, but possibly, what used to matter to you, and with age and wisdom, doesn't matter.
So get this. I'll rephrase.
Yeah.
The first question,
Please.
I condensed it to very general. And I'll ask you, the lovely studio audience, and I'll ask my host, I'll be so bold. What actually matters?
Yeah, that's a good one.
What matters? And then John broke it down into a bunch of different ideas for how to approach examples of what is it that really matters, not what you think matters or what you want to matter or this or that. What matters in this crazy universe?
Right. Well, then, the under possible directions or examples, internet attention. Absolutely, in the long run, to me, it doesn't matter. But part of me is like, do you really believe that? Or it shouldn't matter, because it shouldn't matter, I went through a little
exactly
Sean Blizzard of 26 episode this morning. The power went out in the house, and I was like, and it was still dark out. Thank God I had gotten up at 4 a.m. The power went out at 5, and I had coffee prior to the power. I was like, okay, I know it's coming back on, but this is a different,
Hey.
Having peace with oneself matters. I think that's why I brought that up.
Wow, no, that's a very interesting segue. So it went ricocheted from internet likes and, media attention to, let's zing to a more physical problem, having electricity.
Yeah, because part of my morning routine involves the internet, because I force myself, before I look at emails, before I go on YouTube. YouTube is my main entertainment supply.
Sure.
I force myself to read the news.
Okay.
The news feed, and just be acquainted with what's going on in the world. Like,
or
we're at war.
What they say is going on. What they tell you is going on.
Correct.
And
It's a pretty, I don't I just look at Google News, which is pulls from everywhere. So there's no like bias. I don't think. I don't think if there is, Google's good at hiding it. So
okay, because I was going to ask you, what is your news source? It's called Google News.
yeah. It's very basic, and I'll go through that. But I force myself before, like I said, before watching YouTube or going through my emails or playing games or whatever I'm doing that morning, while I have my coffee, I read the news and I make myself do it. It's one discipline I still have left.
Oh, well, I'm sure you have quite a few that you may not even consider anymore. They're so...
Well, I have new ones. Definitely screen potential wives or girlfriends much harder in the process of screening them.
Okay.
That's that I say that jokingly, but it's a reality, and it is funny. I'm getting to the point where pain is turning into humor, and I think that's a good growth.
Oh, that's a lovely alchemy.
Yeah.
From sadness to laughter. Very, very good transition.
I'm out of breath. That means I'm talking too much. Please indulge in whatever conversation we're in.
Not at all. I love it when you talk. It makes my job so much easier. And I like the things you say. So we went from internet attention to having the internet at all. Right. It's a nice little reality reminder. It
was just a self-reflection of being able to be at peace with yourself. And I was like, I could be pulling my hair out. My kids might. I'm taking over again. Because, kids these days are on devices quite a bit. But when I tell them their tablets are night-night, it's amazing. They go and play and do kids things. So let's hope that holds.
So here's a dynamic, a digression that's interesting that I'm liking. It's a little off the track, but you mentioned the word discipline. And you said, I don't have discipline. You were self-effacing. Well, now you are in the throne of having two disciplines. You have your own, and you are providing discipline for your children. Now, that's huge. That's enough of a discipline. Just to discipline my kids was I guess, the hardest part of being a dad for me. Right. So the discipline it took me to actually try to discipline them, and I sadly might admit that one of my faults as a dad was I wasn't disciplinary enough with my kids. I was too lax, and that's a guess I have about one of my flaws. Right. But that's just to go back to what you said, I don't have discipline anymore. So your new discipline about screening better your potential wives, that's a discipline, but it's also a technique. Actually do the screening is going to have interesting techniques that you'll have different tests and try.
I've done videos about it. I just let my boundaries down because I wanted basically, that term, go for the brass ring.
Yes.
This manipulating woman who I did love. I did. But, come to find out, or I'm coming to the realization with a therapist, this is not all, I'm deeply in therapy. She knew that's what I wanted out of life and reeled me in. And very fast, I think you were around when that came about real fast, the whole thing with her. I'm sure, because you were around.
Yes.
That was towards the end of Jan's art shop. That may have been why Jan's art. I don't know. Anyways, I don't want to get into it too deeply, but that's a discipline I do have now. And, you're talking about disciplining the kids, and I have a question for you about that. But a lot of my time spent with my therapist is about you have to have boundaries and discipline within yourself to be a good parent for my children. You know what I mean?
Totally.
You can discipline by example.
Exactly.
So you said you were kind of disappointed in yourself a little bit, but that's in hindsight, though. I mean, that's natural. I mean,
I knew it when it was happening too. I'm like, Sean, even in real time, I'm like, you got to discipline him more. And I guess I did. Hopefully I did.
Early 20s?
Yeah.
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 Man, we didn't know Jack when we were in our 20s. You know what I mean? That's one of the paradoxes of having children. You know, I had my first child at 51, I think.
Right.
And I'm so thankful in many regards about that because of the knowledge I have. And, you know, at that point in life, I never felt like I have to chase women. I've done all that. You know what I mean? I've done all the partying I'm going to do. My whole goal in life was, the missing thing for me was a family unit and that sense of family.
Right.
So I was ready for it. The conduit is I'm not going to be around as long to watch these amazing little beings grow and grow. So I cherish, you know, I don't take it for granted 1 second of their lives. You know what I mean? It's just a different perspective, I think.
That's very interesting insights on a bunch of different levels. You covered quite a few points, and very interesting. Very interesting. I had a follow-up on one or two of them, but I'm losing it now.
It's okay. I'm sorry. I'm talking too much today.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Go.
Keep it coming. It takes a village. So the discipline that I gave my kids and that you give your kids is in congruency, or it's connected to the discipline of society. You got to get them to school on time is a discipline. And it's not one that you're completely imposing on your own. You have rules that you're beholden to, and society expects of you to get these kids. So the phrase "it takes a village" is a very, very beautiful, interesting phrase about community. And I'm segueing it into discipline and not boundaries, but we all discipline together in a way.
That's what I think. That's you could use a definition of society as discipline. You know, tolerance between that people have. You know, that is what a society is.
Discipline, accordance. What's the word? Compromise. Discipline and compromise are connected, because discipline means doing the thing you don't want to do to get the thing you do want, or to keep the stuff you do have. And compromise means like, I'm going to do what they want too, because together we're going to get this other goal. I'm rambling now.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what compromise is. Forgive me, audience. I know you're much beyond that kind of, I don't want to be pedantic. To use we
all know what that is because we learned that in an episode.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't want to be solipsistic. Now, I've looked that word up a few times and I forget what it means, but I think it's related to pedantic. Solipsistic. Oh, it means all about me. Solo, solipsistic.
Okay.
Like very self-centered, I think. Yeah. We'll triple check. Okay. Okay, so we covered, let's just say for Pete's sake, that we covered internet attention, likes, and followers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there was a word I circled in your number one. Internet attention, likes, followers, and you have a word I like here. Virality? Now, did you make that word up, like going viral?
Oh, no. No, this is spit out by a conversation I was having with ChatGPT. Very much prompted by me, but
this
virality is how I.
Did you make that word up, or did the?
No, that's a common term with.
I like it. The aspect
the
of
creators, I guess.
The aspect of becoming viral, or being viral, or gaining viral, going viral. Okay, virality. So let's sort of do a let's go out on a limb and say we're done with that question, and let's have an answer to it. It doesn't matter. Internet attention, likes, virality, it really doesn't matter. But then there's always that but. Okay, next. Winning arguments.
Right.
Being
and just
right.
to reiterate what the main question, I'll restate it. Not to reiterate it, but I'll restate. What's something people think matters that actually doesn't? So it took us 20 minutes to talk about a yes or no question about internet attention. So let's see where we go. Keep going, Sean.
Doesn't matter at all.
Trying to keep it.
Number 2.
Trying to keep it on track.
Number 2. Winning arguments, being always right. I'm just going to have fun with saying it doesn't matter. But let's honestly...
I believe it does. I believe it does.
Nope, it doesn't. I'm going to argue with you on this one. No, I came to have an argument. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't. Always being right. My dad was funny. He would have a saying. He would say, well, Sean, I'm right about 98% of the time, so you might as well just listen to me and do what I say. And I would try to catch him so many times on times he was wrong and just up the percentage of his wrongness. But either he played a good game or just pulled it off or fooled me good, but he was right a lot.
Yeah.
But again, he was this preponderous ego of having to be right or claiming he was right or feeling like he was always right.
Right. Yeah. I think we all have that in us at some time. It's a dynamic between different individuals too. You and I have our moments like that.
Oh yeah.
I love you more than anybody in the world, man. You're like a brother, like truly a brother. But we have bumped heads, not in I hate you.
Screw
it's
you.
like inherent with us to yes, I did. No, I didn't. It's like the argument sketch from Monty Python. Yeah, you were just going into.
Right.
I think it's just something we have to do. It's our dynamic, and it's beautiful.
Now, here's a funny thought about that. It's like we both come up against each other, and we have these differing ideas about something, but we're both so stubborn that we know the other guy is not going to change. So that's how we come in accord. We're like, well, he thinks so and I don't. So we're not going to get into that right now.
100%. And I think it's, balloon, like the songs that we've written together and done together came out so good because of that dynamic, I believe. You know what I mean?
Yes, I'm going to say yes, but also one of the reasons...
No, you're not saying yes.
Well, I thought yes, but I think I thought no. Yes, one of the reasons our songs are so great, I'll just say they're pretty cool, is the dynamic where we're, one guy wants this and the other guy wants that, and how are we going to get this thing done? But another thing is and this takes away the specialness of our individuality, so I hope it doesn't bum you out, but it's just so good to collaborate with another artist. It's so good for your psyche, your ego, your confidence to grapple with another artist and really work together on something. Whereas there's two or multiple hands, that's why movies can be so wonderful. There's so many hands in the final product. There's so many contributions and struggles and arguments within the context of the whole piece of art.
Right.
Whoa.
I can let me throw in a little bit on like the example of our music together. For me, because I don't know, it's a dynamic I'm still working on, and it's trust. Okay. But with our music, I always had implicit trust that it's gonna be okay. I trusted you, I believed in you 100%, even when we were collaborating. If you felt very strongly about something, he's right. You know what I mean? There is no right or wrong. And that's a hard one for me. Inherently, I don't have a lot of trust. It's probably issues growing up, and I've been. Trust is huge thing. Huge.
Oh, it's paramount. And you brought up-
But that was, it was always there between our dynamic of working together, you know.
I think one of the things we trust about each other is there's an earnestness to both of us, maybe to everyone, but let's just talk about you and I writing a song together. What I could feel from you is this general energy of passion. I said, whether he's right or wrong, or whether I like this riff or not, man, he loves it. He wants to make a song just as much as I do. So this is a great opportunity. And plus, then the riffs you come up with are phenomenal anyway, but it's partially because I trust you. I'm like, let him do the riff. Let's see what he's got. He's got the passion, then he's got the riff, and again, it's like during the podcast, when you're talking, it's like, oh, thank God, he's got it now. Let him run with it, because I'm like, I have some good ideas. I have to have confidence. I have to build it back up.
You absolutely do.
But I have a lot of trepidation, to use your other word.
Right.
I have a ton of self-doubt in my abilities and in my creativity. So when someone else is taking the reins, I'm like, oh, that's the great part of collab, because I can take a breather, take a breath, maybe get a good idea, and keep faking it through. When it's my turn, come back with something.
Reminds me of the Beatles. Boy, you're gonna carry that weight a long time.
Yes.
That's a great album.
Is that the White Album?
I know we've touched on that plenty of times, but that's Abbey Road. That's part of the medley.
Right. What a great album that is.
Oh, their last album. Not the last released album, but the last one they recorded.
Wow, is it?
Yeah, the last one they released was Let It Be. But that was recorded prior to Abbey Road, like months before Abbey Road. Whoa. They just went into Abbey Road going, let's do one last one, like as a band, like it should be. They nailed it. They
crushed it.
Yeah.
I'll have to revisit that record.
All right, let me throw another one out. I don't know where we're at, but
please.
Public opinion. Okay. I think the older you get, the less it matters. As I think it's more about as you learn to know yourself and be yourself, which takes time.
And carry
it's not
yourself.
An overnight thing. Carry yourself.
Carry and present yourself.
Right. I mean, opinion matters, but it's not as soul crushing when, like, when you're in high school and a girl's like, I don't like him. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes. It's devastating.
Right.
I mean, I never experienced that, but I imagine.
I had a friend who I helped experience that at times, from time to time. Use a CP30. Shelster.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh. Public opinion or trends. So, yes, hopefully we're more wise, we're more confident, we're more self-assured, not to the point where we're pig-headed, arrogant, and can't see the forest for the trees and we're being a total... So there's a mix. You're also a better person. You're better at maybe holding your tongue. I'm just examples, or being polite. And you're better at keeping your mouth shut. I'm just throwing out ideas that that affect public opinion of you or whatever.
Right.
So you're better at those things. Plus, you're better at withstanding when people are jerks and they're making faux pas. They're either attacking you or they're just doing stupid things, and you're more tolerant and more understanding. So, public opinion or trends, do they matter? Or is it something that matters, that people think it matters, or but it doesn't, or it doesn't matter but they think it does? So again,
it diminishes with time, I would say. Hopefully, as you grow and learn and become you, which is a never-ending process, but it doesn't matter as much. So it diminishes,
And there's another point to it. It's really hard to control. Like once you've scrambled your public opinion, or you've done something where the public, is against you, it's going to take time. They're done. The public opinion has shifted. Whether you can do your backtrack or your, what do they call it when they try to spin it the other way and this and that. So there's an acceptance to public opinion. Like we touched on last episode, it doesn't matter what they're saying about you as long as they're talking about you. And we left that open-ended too. Like it's not necessarily something to live by, but public opinion or trends. So they don't matter. No, just kidding.
Right.
Let's go back because there was one in between. That was number 4. Number 3 was an interesting question. Appearing successful versus actually being fulfilled.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
It is.
That's a weird one.
It's an interesting one. It relates to the public opinion and all that.
Exactly. It's very much related, and I think that as well. Time is a factor there,
And experience.
Yeah.
And wisdom.
Right.
Is a factor.
And I think when you're actually truly fulfilled, or have resolution with a lot of things that was it with you or with my therapist talking about open doors, and
we touched on when one door closes, another opens.
Right. But I think you just exude confidence, and as long as your opinion of yourself is solid, I think that's it's a magical key to other people believing that as well, because you know what I mean. It's a strange little magic.
Yes,
it's not magic.
How did you word it? Once your opinion of yourself, how did you just word it? You just said
confidence in yourself. Just
exudes.
Yeah, and
outward.
It spills out on, and that confidence precludes any really criticism, or, you're just better able to filter.
Mm-hmm. And withstand, yes.
Yeah, like, back in, just to make an example of high school, and then this is not a real example, this is made up.
Sure.
Somebody says something about you, it could devastate you for a week. That's how the bully system is with kids, and it's not as prevalent as you learn who you are, as you grow into the current version of yourself.
I love your optimism, and that's a very hopeful statement, and it is true to an extent, but then you get these situations where, bam, you're confronted, and I'm talking right now, this old, and you're confronted with a bully, and someone is threatening or attacking you. Hopefully you're not experiencing that, but it's every now and then, like, it's like, whoa, are we still in high school here? And then you have to, like you say, filter and deal and fix it or move on.
I just went through a marriage. I told you,
Exactly.
I blindsided myself, and I was married to a master manipulator. I'm not saying this person's evil. This person definitely, I am convinced, and this is only opinion of mine, has a personality disorder and can't help it. That's the way they conduct their lives. And, I'm going to have a family, bright-eyed, wide-eyed. I'm going to take my kids to Disney World. That's something I dreamed about ever since I was a kid. You know what I mean? And just, I was reeled in, and
yeah.
I don't know how I got there, but
No, that's a good example of, like, what I mentioned was that even in these days when we're wise and experienced and old,
yes, that's
the
exactly
bad
right.
hits can still come. The bad public.
Absolutely. That's why I keep reiterating, you keep growing, because, maybe here's a topic for season 3, or somewhere in the future.
Nice.
how many chapters of your life have you gone through that you can identify? I'm using chapter as
Nice.
I feel like there's definite stages in my life I've gone through. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have an exact number, but yeah, there's at least 4 or 5 or 6.
That's
profound moments that change your life and change you forever. You know what I mean? From going forward.
Yes, that's very interesting. I'd be hard pressed to come up with some. I could come up with some, but that would take some more thought and some real reflection. But yes, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, maybe that's something we can delve into at some point.
And it's actually connected to the end of the show. There's a final question. So that idea that you just posed is going to relate in the end if we get through, if we get to it, if we make it.
Well, you tell me.
What?
You tell me. I don't think we got your thoughts on appearing successful versus actually being fulfilled. What are your thoughts?
Okay, there's a change in my life that I can maybe guess about, because I used to feel very outwardly successful. I used to feel like I was a chef and I was a painter and I was an artist, and sadly I'm not sure if I've ever really felt deeply fulfilled in my life. Because even when I was outwardly successful, I'd have nice articles written about me and my paintings were up all over. I still felt, insecure and problems. So, whereas now, sadly, I don't feel like I have an outward successful image. I've got the crazy beard and I'm not doing as many art shows, and my art is much more underground now, like podcasts and street art rather than galleries and newspapers. Right. So my public appearing successful is now under a very big challenge. Like, you really have to read between the lines to look at me and be like, wow, there's a successful guy, because my appearance, I like to dress.
That's who you want saying that, though, is the ones who take the time and the effort to go, hey, you know what I mean? Not the, oh yeah, I saw you in the Boston Globe, you're, and then, next, let's talk about the Red Sox,
Right. It is interesting, because outwardly successful people, then you draw the people to that superficial image, as well as you're a good person inside, but you also have this superficial image that's a good person, a great person. So who are they drawn to? Are they drawn to the outwardly successful person or the inwardly successful person, if it exists? I'll summarize the question by saying I think now I appear less successful outwardly to people, and I may be reaching a point where I'm actually more fulfilled, but I'm also, as I've sort of complained a few times, I'm at a rough point in my life where I'm really trying to reckon with, things and situations where my confidence is quite shaken, really. And I'm at a teetering point where I'm really trying to regain the confidence that you speak of, the inner confidence where I really feel like I'm a worthwhile, good person. And
it's interesting you say that. I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
No, that's good. Please do.
It's interesting that you say that, because I don't know, during your time of appearing outwardly successful, having the art gallery, what was it, on Boylston Street?
Newbury Street.
That is that is being successful, having a gallery there, you know what I mean, for people who don't know Boston.
Totally.
Would you admit I don't think you'd be as open about the inner struggles, though. During that time, I never really got that from you. You know what I mean? I think it was so consuming that I'm an artist, and, and you have to be, because that's what you decided you were gonna be.
Right.
You know, it's a weird dichotomy of so many things, but
Indeed.
Just to throw a little compliment to you right now, it's
Thank you.
at this stage in your life, I feel like you're a little more open to others, open to sharing. Let's just say that. No, thank you. Because I think that was shut down a little bit, and I've been that way myself. You know what I mean? Under high pressure jobs and lots of stress, I don't have time to analyze. I have to produce. You know what I mean?
I don't even have time to talk, hang out, do anything.
Exactly.
With anyone.
Exactly.
That isn't in the mix, in the hierarchy, on the ladder. It's a social ladder. And very interesting, yeah. In a way, one of my things that I do, I don't know if I should admit this, we might edit this out, but let's just see what it sounds like. One of the things I do in I'll call this my early retirement, kind of, even though I'm not retired, I still work every day on so many different projects. It's staggering to me.
Right.
But one of the projects I have is to be open to projects. I say, well, I have this luxury, somewhat of a luxury, where I have an ability to choose what I want to do. Yes. And so whenever someone asks me to do something, I accept the challenge. And I'm open to that with all different collaborators. And it's still opportunistic in a way, because yes, I'll help you with that. Yes, I'll help you with that. Yes. But when you're helping someone else, you're also gaining. Because I'm waiting to see which alchemy, which chemistry, is the most successful. Now, that means, let's just break it down to money and fulfillment. Which of these artistic...
Which are not the same thing. They can be the same thing, but they're not.
They can coincide, they can happen simultaneously, but they're two very different, completely separate things. Money stability and emotional stability.
Right.
They're not mutually exclusive at all, in my humble opinion.
Right. Unfortunately, in some ways, they're all requirements, though. Or they preclude each other.
They're connected,
Sometimes, when I was really kicking it, like really hitting it hard in the movie industry, there was no time for any self-fulfillment. You know what I mean? I was literally over 100 hours a week, work. And it just robs your soul, it's a weird profession to be in, because you're either in 100%, and then the beauty is when you're off, you have that other life, but you have to decompress from that stress and that
and the lack of...
So it's hard to have those things meld, let's just say.
Sure, that would be...
I think that's what we all seek, you know what I mean? That security and fulfillment.
Right. So financial or economic stability, security, and emotional fulfillment, spiritual. The guy that has both, or the gal that has both, is that wise person sitting on a mountain, or it's the stately president. But I mean the real stately president who's not putting up a facade. And
there's no such thing.
Well, isn't it interesting how it'd be easier to believe the wise person sitting on the mountain in silence? It's like easier to believe, no, they have it. They have their food, they're eating, and they're emotionally stable. But so it's easier to believe, whereas the guy, the president in the Oval Office or whatever, no way he's emotionally fulfilled. He's got to be, you know, running the rat race, completely corrupt. But there's a chance that there are great leaders and great stately, well-acclaimed leaders that have a peace, an inner peace, and a good heart. I know it's hard to believe nowadays.
No,
but
no. I think you're right. I think it's rare.
I do too.
We'll leave it at that.
And everyone is an amalgamate of both, or of all things, of the disarray and the fulfillment, of the pain and the joy. So it's tricky because this lighting is so bright. Okay.
It looks fine on this end.
Good. Okay, good. I don't want to distract you guys. Wow.
Hey, what do you say? Let's. God, we could go on for hours on.
No, I think we made it through.
Let's transition. That's a rough word to say in the 2020s, but I am keeping my parts.
Let's transition in the podcast to the second half of it.
Right.
The bridge. I like the way, I'm going to read my paraphrase of what you said. The bridge is how we're going to sum up the first part and move to the second part is realizing what doesn't matter is part of becoming wise.
Yeah.
So we've just reviewed what matters and what doesn't matter, and we've realized it. We figured it all out. So we're becoming wise. Now on.
All right. So yes, just as a note, we have figured it out. Those were your words. Yes. We're very egocentric,
Yes.
Because the next question is, are we actually wise?
Yes. And I like the way you worded it, or the way I worded your words. Is wisdom something you gain or something you lose over time?
Oh.
Very interesting question. And it's both. As you gain certain wisdoms, you lose others. And
you have to, right?
Well, actually, let's think about that's a good question. What if you could gain wisdom exponentially or constantly and never lose any wisdom? Like wisdom, like wisdom just
I'm throwing the word belief comes into my mind when we're talking about that wisdom, because to really learn you have to lose some of your beliefs too, or your wisdom, and let it go, because you need to evolve it
and not cling to it like a dusty old blanket that you had when you were a kid that made you feel secure.
Right. It's like my clothes. I keep looking at myself in this. I'm like,
New Mexico.
Literally, when I had my stroke, I lost 40 to 50 pounds, which I never even knew I could lose that much.
Wow.
But
huge.
It is. I weigh 180 now. That's what I weighed in high school. You know what I mean?
That is wild, John. That's good.
Yeah, but I'm holding on to these clothes because I'm too cheap to go buy new ones. I just noticed, I'm like, you look like an idiot with these clingy clothes.
It's part of the gift.
Last week I had my lunch on my lip during the show.
Oh, no.
I don't care.
I mean,
who cares?
I'm really easy for me to do that with my flavor saver here. So it's funny. So your appearance, back to your outward appearance. So on the upside, you've lost all this weight and you're thin and you're in shape, but now your clothes fit you like a ragtag rumble clot, like scarecrow.
I know.
So if you get all new clothes, you'll go back to gaining weight and then they'll be tight. No, just kidding.
It's so weird, man. It's such a. It's about being sick. You know what I mean? Because I used to smoke, which that's an appetite suppress. So a lot of people quit smoking. They balloon up. I have friends who've done it, and I quit. I think it was 9 months now, no smoking.
Congratulations.
I've lost 40 pounds through it. You know what I mean? It's a weird. It shouldn't be that way.
Congratulations. Yeah, no, and again, it's. It's all connected because, like you said, part of your weight loss, I think I took it as your weight loss is about being sick because of the stroke and these problems. So that's where sickness is connected to health in this weird paradoxical way. Like, whatever the cause, you've managed to lose a lot of weight, which is a big accomplishment that sometimes...
Without any effort whatsoever, because I still eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I mean, I watch the salt.
Sure. That's
I try to keep the sodium.
That's actually a huge success. To lose 40 or 50 pounds without even trying is like beyond success. Like if you could bottle that and tell people how to do it and they could do it.
Here. I drink like at least 4 of these a day. Stay hydrated, folks.
Okay.
Stay hydrated. That's water and electrolytes. That's not gin or...
Okay.
It's cold gin time.
This is ginger ale, which I usually don't drink, but I'm just... I found this old bottle. It's way past its expiration date. Let's see.
I think you've been drinking that for the last few shows, too.
Well, this is a new one. This is a different one.
All right.
I found this in the pantry, and it expired January 2026, so it's not that old.
No, yeah, I think you're within limits.
I'm okay. I'm not going to...
Yeah.
I don't feel good. No.
Well, if there's no season 3, there's your cliffhanger, folks.
Wow.
The cause of death, the consumption of expired ginger ale. That'd be a good story for your friends to tell. Hey, how's he doing? Oh, you haven't heard.
Oh gosh.
Is wisdom something you gain or something you lose?
Okay, and
ongoing question in life, and that question should always be present in your life. How's that? I
like it.
Yeah.
To be aware, to be self-aware, and cognizant of the needs of others. So, a couple of the follow-ups in that question. One of them is, you just sort of touched it, losing certainty. Letting go of these old beliefs that almost, control you.
Right.
So being open, losing certainty, losing rigidity, being open.
Or replacing.
Yes, replacing certainty with new certainty. 2, losing ego. Same thing. Losing the ego and like I'm always right. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I don't see how that connects to the question of wisdom, something you gain or lose. Ego.
Ego can probably...
Maybe ego's the wrong word.
Ego can probably be an impediment against wisdom, but it's also a tool to gain wisdom, so it's a balance.
Yeah, ego can transform into confidence, going back, however long back. We've been going quite a while already. That's okay.
Yeah.
This is the season 2 finale. We have no limits, folks.
Let me quote a very wise man that I've known almost all my life, and I grew up with him. A wise man once told me, we were in the midst of all these conversations about practice and music and discipline, and this guy told me, confidence, well, girls like confidence, Sean, and it's actually easy because all confidence is practice. And that hit me you said it. Yeah. Once at Jan's Art Shop, we were talking about stuff, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I'm like, oh, I hope he's right. I really hope that all confidence really is just keeping, and you've heard, I forget the basketball player, but there's a guy who's pretty famous about all I did was practice so much more than I could possibly stand, and practice so much more than everyone else that when I got onto the basketball court, I knew that I couldn't have done any more prep.
Right.
Now that has got to be such discipline, such confidence.
Oh, yeah.
I wish that I could profess to say the same. And when I get in my zone, when you mentioned my successful days, I was getting there. I was I was painting
sure
8
were.
hours a day and
Yeah.
really into it, and I was pretty confident. But like you say, other parts of my life suffered maybe. And
Right. No, and I know exactly, it's a parallel to like my work profession, and you're just all in.
Yeah.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah.
And it requires that. Success requires that too, I believe. If you can tell me another way to be successful and not have to go all in, please, sign me up.
Well, that's what we're working towards here. I think that a
Sure.
lot of our conversations are about balance and, the yin and the yang between, push harder and do nothing. Because in some of our earlier podcasts, I would reference my Bruce Lee book. And I remember I love one of the quotes in here, like, be nothing special. Just go and drink your water. When you're tired, go and lie down. So it's so flowery and poetic. It's like, don't do anything. Just relax. You don't have to be special. But that's coming from a guy who was a great martial artist, a great filmmaker. So again,
I think that's the key to life, though. And like I said, if you know that and have that knowledge and belief, there's your confidence. It's not about practice. Practice helps with your confidence for sure. I wanted to touch back just real quick.
Big time.
But confidence is it's liking yourself. As simple as I can put it,
No, I love it. I love the simplicity
Being
of that.
comfortable in your own skin is confident,
Now, if
And,
you could bottle that, here it is, a jar of liking yourself. So once you drink this, I'm going to drink some right now. Because that's where I'm at. I'm really working on getting back, because here, the final part of the second question is another question that I really love that you came up with, or you and Chat GPT. What illusion have you personally lost over the years?
There we go.
And sadly, for me, it circles back to when I was in high school and even younger. I used to really think I was the cat's meow. I used to really have an ego, and I'm like, man, I can sing, I can dance, I can jam, I can draw.
But you could.
I can do all those things. Now, I never had a ton of confidence with my looks, but at least I had hair back then. And, most everyone is skinny in high school and college. And I
don't remember any fat kids in school, do you?
No, not really. There was always a range. There's the skinny guy and the big guy.
Yeah.
But, so I used to really feel like I was like gonna, be this big star, and I'm so amazing. But that gradually has worn down to where I really am in a position, like I said, I really need to get back to accepting myself and my past mistakes and my stupid things I've done, and I'm really working on it. So thank you for listening to me. This isn't exactly therapy, or maybe it is, but it is a little bit for me.
Interaction's always a form of therapy if you really think about it.
Thank you.
If you're open to it.
Good point. Excellent way to put it.
And I just want to say, throughout these podcasts, I've come across as like being victimized, and I'm not perfect. I've made plenty of mistakes throughout my life, but
yeah, that's good.
I feel like I've learned from those, And I find it, as hard as it is to look at yourself and accept you've done something wrong or you handled something the wrong way, it's so important to the future you feeling good about yourself is accepting and contemplate, self-reflection,
self-forgiveness.
Yeah, it just grows you into a more beautiful person.
Wow.
Yes, I just referenced myself as a beautiful person, but
And becoming...
I do feel good about myself these days. We're all beautiful people. Let it out, folks. Let it out.
Yeah, hallelujah. Episode 20, baby. Very well put. Very well said. Yes, you are a beautiful person and becoming more beautiful.
Yeah, in a potato sack. Sure used to.
Now let's get a shirt that fits you maybe sometime during.
Yeah, let's get some viewers and some sponsors so we can clothe ourselves better properly for basically a radio show. The irony of it all.
Now, let me describe my outfit. It's a silk pin tie suit from the 1920s, light mauve, lined in velvet. No, it's not. It's a frumpy dumpy. Okay.
What do you have to say on what illusion have you personally lost over the years?
Well,
I don't know if I answered that question.
No, I think I already did. Like, I used to be the cat's meow,
right,
and now I'm really got to get back to that where I feel good about myself, and I just I'm getting there. I think.
Yeah, I do too, man. I think you're getting more comfortable with yourself. And life is always evolving. You've gone through some big changes recently, especially with the living situation, and
big time.
We haven't talked about it, but I think there's more. Yeah, you definitely probably have taken on some responsibility you weren't contemplating.
Indeed, that is correct. Yes.
But we can talk about that if you want to. It's in another forum, let's say.
Yes. Well, what illusion have you personally lost over the years, if you have one?
Oh God, I'm always losing illusions about myself. Like I said with my marriage, like it's all going to be good because I'm getting what I want, a family. Oh, that was wrong. Wrong. And now we're playing dice with two little kids. Mental wellness for their lives. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they're scarred. I'm doing everything I can. That is the focus of my life, is to make sure this doesn't affect them in a negative way. But
right.
I didn't see this coming. I didn't see it at one iota.
Right.
Even though I've done videos about this on my YouTube channel. Is like, I saw the red flag. I'm an idiot. I let these things go. I let my boundaries down because it's very noble. It's very chivalrous to, I want a family, I want a wife. To
sacrifice.
It's the one thing that I haven't had in my life. I've had everything else. I've had the women, the partying, the music, the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll. I've made $200,000 a year in the movie industry. People would kill for that.
Wow, yeah.
But the one thing I wanted was a family, and this person just fucking reeled me in on that. And hook, line, and sinker. And and there were red flags.
And like you said, the good news is you still have your wonderful family. You have your kids, and that's your focus. And it's not perfect. It's not how you envisioned it, but you still have all these great opportunities just to be with them, and that's really important. It's so great to see
100%.
how inspired you are by them and how cute and inspired they are, and
but I did lose the illusion of like, it's all okay now,
right?
The final brass ring, and to take it right back to the beginning, was I got it. It's all going to be okay. I can work through anything, even though these red flags are glaring at me. I push them off to the side. So
no risk. No
I felt
reward.
I felt I was impervious to disaster in life. Let's just put it that way.
That's good. That's the confidence.
I was wrong. Wrong.
Your confidence. But love is risky. And we all know that.
Love is risky.
Love
is a two-way street as well. That's the thing where it's a unique situation. I don't believe there was love on the other side. It was transactional, and that's a whole can of worms. And I'm in therapy about it. And as well, someday maybe we'll talk about it, but
Yeah.
we're trying to keep things light and cheery for our season finale.
Yeah.
And I am cheery. I have cheer being here talking about it, because honestly, I was ready to just, because I didn't understand. I was, but I was, I can't do that to my kids.
No.
Won't do that to my kids.
No. So
absolutely not. So that just puts you on a path of, you have to get through this.
So an illusion you may have lost was the family unit and the wife and the kids, but the illusion, the dream that you're gaining is that the kids are so cool and they're such a great focus in your life. So that's...
Oh, no, yes. And they can't be... I'm imagining they can't be for your entire life or their entire life. At some point, you have to let them evolve on their own. And I do that now.
Incrementally, yes.
But exponentially, as they get on with life, they have to make their own choices. You would know better than I. You're the father of, 30-something-year-olds now, right?
Yes. My 36, Cole is. Amina will turn 40 this year, and Bryn is 34. Yeah.
That is crazy, man.
Yes. It's it goes quick.
It's beautiful, It's watching someone else's family grow is like watching a movie. It's cool.
Yeah. Nice. Well,
yeah.
Looks like we made it through season 2, episode 20. With our hearts and minds intact.